Hello, everybody. It's the Positive Awesome Podcast, and we are back with you once again. It is Albert to the right of me. Albert, how the heck have you been, and how have you been enjoying wrestling this week?
Doing all right. Wrestling's been fun this week so far.
That's always a plus. Plus.
Listen, I think since the last time we met, I've enjoyed everything that I've watched. Whether, I haven't seen everything, but everything that I have seen, I've enjoyed. I think that's the most important thing about being a wrestling fan, right? Not being hypercritical, not being crazy, just sitting back and just on a Monday night, just eating dinner and just chilling and watching Monday Night Raw was a good time for me.
Is always the most important part is that you're enjoying it, no matter what it is. I don't care what you're watching. You better be enjoying it, or you're wasting your time. That's what I always say.
That's right.
So just to get it out of the way real quick, for the people who continue to come in and watch us, listen to sports and all that stuff, you're wondering, where is Tidy? Tidy will not be joining us until about January. This is just what it is. We're going to miss him. Absolutely. It doesn't feel right doing the show without him. As I've said many times before, the reason I even started doing the podcast was because of Tidy. So it does suck that he's not with us, but when he does return, we shall all rejoice and have the time of our lives because Tidy's great and he's the time of our lives. January, he will be back with us, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Harry, what is up?
What's up, Harry?
Courtney's already put her list in, and it is the exact same list as our list. So show's over, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching the shortest podcast in the history of all time. Deuces, hit that music. Just joking. So in case that you didn't know, we're doing the top 5 list. That's right, the list. We do these once a month. And this week's I'm doing it because they just introduced a Women's United States Championship for SmackDown. They're going to be doing, I think, a tournament for it. I'm not sure if I heard that right or if I just made it up. I don't know. I assume there's going to be a tournament, and I figured what better way to do a list than to include the women because they don't get enough shine, and we could just break down the top 5 most likely candidates for, in our opinion, on who we think will be the first ever inaugural Women's United States Champion over on SmackDown. Now, I will say this. I'll ask you this. Is anybody on the list you made the person you are expecting to win it?
Yeah.
Okay. At the end, we'll do that. I don't know if it's your number 1 or not. I know mine isn't my number 1 or anything.
Same. My number 1 probably isn't, but for the most part, yeah. I think that. So look, I'm going to be honest. There aren't heavy hitters on my list. I think that this should be legitimate, like what NXT has done with the North American Championship. This should be a legitimate women's mid-card championship, which means that the women who aren't getting the chance to be in the top-tier storylines, like a Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, are on my list because I don't believe that at this point it would make sense to put them in that position.
Yeah.
Can it eventually... Are there going to be stories and devices and, things that are going on with that championship that a Becky Lynch or a, Charlotte Flair could win it at one point? Absolutely. To make it more prestigious, to make it, make it worth more. There might be times where those women could have reigns as well. But if we're going to start this off, I think it should be an opportunity for the WWE to be putting more women on TV and giving them more storylines outside of just being the main champion.
What I try to base it off of is right now, if you are capable of winning the WWE Women's Championship on either show, I don't have you on my list based on I tiered it. And I think that's how titles should be presented. That's how it was in WCW back when I used to watch it and WWE back in the day. And then you had to gradually, once you proved yourself in the mid card, you moved up to the world title. That's how I think this title should be presented, to give girls the opportunity to move up the card without just being given like, okay, we're just going to give you a month to get over in this random feud like Zelina Vega has done like 3 times now. It hasn't worked out for her. Here they might be. I wouldn't doubt this one bit. That's obviously the next logical thing I think they would do.
If this works as a dual branded thing, then yeah. If you're just introduce more women and put a singular title on each brand.
I think so. So, with that said, before I even get into my list, I will just say this. I wanted to do this with my list as well. Trust me.
Me too.
Trust me.
I believe that I commented that to you.
All three of us are on the same wavelength there. We would love to
Yes.
put Chelsea Green 1 through 5 because Chelsea Green is that awesome. I will say this. She's not on my list because I felt like that was way too predictable for me to put on my list.
All right. Well, she's on mine, so we'll get to talk about it. So that'll be fun.
There you go. I'll still get to praise her and all that stuff. I just didn't put her on mine for that reason alone. Because if I'm just trying to be subjective, I want to not fawn over my favorites all the time. I want to give some other girls a chance to shine here. So, with nothing further to say, we can move on to the list. And starting at number 5, Albert, I'm going to let you go first here. Who do you have at number 5 and why?
So my number 5 is the just recently returned Dakota Kai. And I think Dakota Kai is the perfect embodiment of what this championship actually represents. It's a girl who's been up on the main roster for an extended period of time, who really hasn't had the chance and opportunity to even challenge for a main, for the women's world or women's heavyweight champion, not women's heavyweight, the women's world or WWE women's championship.
Top title.
Yeah, ever. Like she's never been in contention at all. I think but she's on TV all the time. She's a part of major stories. I mean, she's been in the tag division. And, she's done a lot of stuff with Damage Control, and she's been featured a lot more. But the one thing that we don't get to see her do often is wrestle. I think that it's because, a lot of times Damage Control have been in these big storylines where, mostly Asuka is, Asuka, and Io and Kyrie are all in the tag division, and Dakota kind of gets left out of that whole thing. Bayley was like the singles wrestler, in the group. So now this is a championship that Dakota is tailor-made for, where she can go and she can, starting from the bottom, get herself into contention to win this championship and elevate herself up to that main tier by doing that.
First off, I can confirm this, but I thought it was 2018, not 2017. Man, he is a couch sniffer. I like that you're including people from Raw because I didn't. That means we're going to have very different lists here.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing. I wouldn't be mad at Dakota Kai. I think she is a perfect candidate for something like this. But he's got number 5 is Blair Davenport. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
Definitely better than the rumored thing I saw. But again, it's a rumor. It's probably not even close to being true what they have planned for her. But I think this would be a good thing for Blair Davenport. And I think when we get to my number 2, the reasons why are kind of very similar as to why I think it would be a good spot for Blair. So I'll get to that there. My number 5, I have – this is the big one. This is my biggest name that I have on the list. And I have her at top 5 because I don't want it to happen. But I think it could be an interesting way to kickstart something we've already seen brewing. And number 5, I got Jade Cargill.
Interesting.
So,
okay. I thought about it myself too, but my thing was, she held the TBS championship, the second tier title in AEW her entire run. I kind of feel like we're repeating the same thing that AEW did.
Kind of, but I feel like she's establishing herself with Bianca as a superstar now. And it's been kind of this thing where she needs Bianca to be successful. I feel like that's kind of the story that they're brewing here with Liv teasing like, Bianca's going to turn on you. Yeah, because Jade could be dead weight or Bianca. Yeah, that's essentially what it would be in my opinion. Jade is just dead weight to Bianca. Bianca used to run the entire women's division. And since Jade's been there, she's kind of just had to hold her hand and walk her through and do this tag team thing. And eventually Bianca would get tired of it and turn on her. But I think
Bianca's ever turning heel. So
no, for sure. I don't think so either. But I think instead of going that route, I think jealousy would be probably a cooler way of doing it because Bianca is the EST, the fastest, the greatest, the bestest, all of the above, and Jade goes off and wins this singles title while Bianca doesn't. And then all of a sudden Jade starts getting all the attention and all of a sudden she has the claim to say, I'm the best. And then all of a sudden Bianca's like, hold up. I think that's a great story to include with 2 top names in the women's division to really show that this United States title is going to be something and not just hey ladies, here you go, like they did with the women's tag titles multiple times.
And there's your WrestleMania match right there too for that championship, right?
So that you all know me, I like stories, so I'm gonna try and build things around stories. That way, it builds it up and gives it a little bit of prestige, as opposed to just here's another title, here's another title. Let's make them mean something. And I put it on a big story like that going into WrestleMania. The eyes will be huge on that. You put these two girls on some TV show, promoting that, they're gonna be like, who are these girls? What's okay? That's what I see here. So that's why she's at number 5. I don't think it's happening. I don't know if I would even want Jade to win the title, to be honest with you. I think she still has a lot of work to do. But for the story aspect of it, I think it would actually be kind of cool and would work really, really well. So we went completely different.
I love that.
On number 5.
I love
That's
that.
great. That is great.
I hope we don't even cross at any point on our list. I hope they're completely different. I hope they're 5 different women. Especially because you said you don't have another one on there that I do. So
I don't have any top names on here. I think that's my biggest name, I think. So.
I don't have any. I have one that's borderline there, but
I have one that's borderline there too, and I feel like that's probably the one we're gonna share. I see the tidbits getting put in place. There's subtle hints, but they are there, and throwing the title in there would just amplify it, make it bigger, go boom. Right. But now we will move to number 4, and we're gonna swing it over to Albert again. Who is the number 4 that you have on your positively awesome first women's United States champion list?
So I also know you don't have this one on your list either because she's on Raw as well. And you mentioned her before, Zelina Vega, I think is tailor-made for something like this too. You talk about the microwave pushes that she's gotten to lead to like that 1 month, where she's gonna feud with the champion. I mean, we've seen it with Rhea, we saw it with Liv. It just seems like Zelina gets like this go around every once in a while where people are like, oh crap, you remember how good Zelina Vega is when she's in the ring and she's not just at the LWO side? Remember how good she is when we let her actually wrestle? And then remember how good she is when we put a freaking microphone in her hand? Like, she always cuts a good promo. And I don't understand why WWE just doesn't see that. And when they have, look, don't get me wrong, I love Rey Mysterio. He's a legend and everything. He's not the greatest promo in the world, though. I mean, the other members of the LWO aren't great promos either. Why isn't Zelina just talking for them, period?
Like she did with Andrade, and that
was
uber successful.
Yes! Like, I don't understand why they're just not doing this. Like, it doesn't make sense. So for me, I just think that Zelina is so talented, and I think that she gets lost in the shuffle because I think that she's so good at doing everything that they don't want to make her just a wrestler because it's like, well, she can also be a manager, and she can also do this, and she can also do that. I think you put this championship on her, you give her some mic time. I think she'd be so successful.
Zelina Vega reminds me of the Dolph Ziggler of the women's division.
That's
what she reminds me of. That's praise. Don't get it twisted. That's high praise right there.
Oh, believe me, Courtney's definitely loving that.
The reason Dolph Ziggler were never really kind of catapulted to that next level is because he was so good at making everyone else look good. He could just fill in other spots, and he was really great at it. So, and I think that's where Zelina Vega is at. Now, if they do the Intercontinental title on Raw for the women, I think Zelina Vega, I'm going to say right now, she better get it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And if she doesn't get it, she better be in the finals, and there's a story built from there where she's chasing it from there. Because if there's anybody in the women's division that defines what a mid-card in the women's division is, and again, this is no knock, I think the mid-card is extremely important. It's just as important as the main event, in my opinion. That's legit. I think Zelina Vega is the epitome of that. So, Intercontinental title woman, put it on her. And if not, then find a way to get her involved with this one too, because she deserves it. Number 4, put Candice 2 belts. I'm going to say this. As soon as I made my list, I looked at it and I was like, why didn't I put Candice on this? It would have been so good. I'll leave it at that in case you have it on your list later. But
it's funny. A part of it slipped my mind because I was just like, well, she's in a tag team with Indy.
But she's not.
Oh, yeah. I know. And that's
the reason I think it would be good is because she's now involved in the like Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton thing. So if she won a belt to really show up Tiffany, like Nia could rub that in Tiffany's face to further push her away and get that. Like, it'd be a great, again, another use of the title to put it in a great storyline, get some shine on it, and big part of the show every week because it's involved with the women's title as well. I think that would be a great idea. So I'm so mad at myself for forgetting it. Not sure if Asuka's injured or not, but Asuka. She is injured. I'm not sure how bad it is, but
she's been out for a little bit. I think she had to have surgery. I think it was pretty I think she'd be out. Yeah, for for a decent amount of time.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or Natasha. Hey, I'm glad you're giving her a shout, Ross. I really am, because as much as we clown on her, like she's solid. Like
if they do an Intercontinental Championship on Raw, like I feel like Natty's like the tailor-made first champion for that belt. It gives it power, it gives it lineage. It already it's already elevated just because Natty's who she is and she's been there for so long. And I know people like to rag on her and they're like, "Oh, Natty," but she's always good in the ring.
She's solid in the ring for sure.
Like she always is. She always knows how to make her opponent look well. The reason why the women's division looks so good is because they've all been training with Natty and TJ.
When Rhea was struggling on the main roster to kind of find her grounding, they put her in there with Natalya and it fixed her like that. Exactly. Nobody wants to give her that credit, and that's what it was. If you go back and watch the struggle, and then watch her wrestle Natty, and then from there on, she's been on a fucking rocket ship. So I do think she's boring. That's just me. I'm not clowning on her though. She's solid. She deserves her flowers. So that's not a bad shout. My number 4 is Michin. I don't even like saying that name. It's Mia Yim. But
she just
the reason is she just had a great feud with Chelsea Green, the person we were all like, she should be the one, right? She just won a feud against her. And it was a fantastic it was entertaining as all can be. And I know we all want to give praise to Chelsea Green, but Michin did a damn good job in that one too.
Absolutely.
The matches that she's been given on SmackDown, she's delivered every time.
That hardcore match with Nia was great.
Yeah. Give it to her. Let her give it a run. I think she was starting to win the crowd over. And it's her in-ring stuff that's going to get her there. If you got to do the hardcore stuff, then do the hardcore stuff. Who gives a crap? We're not going to complain. But if you look at people like Carmelo Hayes and Motor City Machine Guns, they're putting them in the ring and allowing them to showcase what they do best. And it's worked.
Right.
Mello is hot. He is over. Motor City Machine Guns, nobody knew who they were when they showed up. And now they're getting crowd reactions. And it's been, a month?
Yeah.
It works. Just let her do the same thing you did with these guys. Like Andrade is another one. Like he's not a guy that can go out there and cut a promo, but they've let him go in there with Mello, do his stuff in the ring.
Yeah.
And it works. So I think Michin would be a good one if you want to make it a workhorse belt. Yeah. Which the mid-card title should be.
It's what it should be.
Yeah, give it to Michin, let her wrestle every week, and let her just win these people over. And if it's a failed experiment, doesn't work, okay. She puts someone else over. Bada bing, bada boom, no harm done. So I'd like to see Michin get the opportunity because I think she's busted her ass. Like she's busted her ass big time since she got there. Yeah, but you watch TNA. There's a lot of people that were in that crowd that don't know who they were.
Right.
Like it was not a big pop when they came out. Right. But again, now they come out. You
knew who they were, but not everyone knew who they were.
Now the crowds are actually like behind them. They're cheering for them. During the matches, they're like hype. They're enjoying them. So, and it's because Triple H said, "Hey guys, just go in there and do what you do best." Right. And that's what I think they need to do with Michin, with the United States champion, if they go that route. But that's number 4. That's not high on my list. We'll get to the other ones in a second. But now we're at number 3. Trace. Albert, who do you have at number 3?
All right, so the way I kind of structured this list was I think that the 2 women at the top, my numbers 1 and 2, are going to be the finals for the women's championship, like in a tournament. Like that's what I really honestly believe.
He's stamping it. That's what it's going to be.
And I don't know who's going to win because I think that there's an interesting story to tell there. But I could not make this list without mentioning Chelsea Green. Like there's just no way I was leaving her off of the list at all. If you want the best character in professional wrestling, not only is she great with everything she does, she's awesome in every segment she's been in. I don't know if you've seen, and Jimmy, I don't know if you, not just you, but everyone out there has seen. She's been doing these Chelsea's reactions on X now, like little videos and stuff.
Of course, I've seen them, brother. Come on.
She is so incredible. She knows her character so well. She's like that kind of a character that you could beat her 700 times and you wouldn't be, shocked if she won the next match, because she's just that character and she doesn't lose her standing. She can be beat up, thrown around, and she's totally fine. She's made her character bulletproof in so many ways. I think to really strap the rocket to her, to make her a major part of this division, putting this championship on her with Piper Niven at her back to cheat for her over and over again so she doesn't win anything on her own, so that it's totally like this farcical championship run would be the greatest thing in the entire world. She would make it so entertaining. She would be so fun. I want the world for Chelsea Green. That's it. That's really what it boils down to. But yeah.
So clearly I want the world for Chelsea Green as well. My only issue with what you're just saying is Liv Morgan's title run is kind of going on the premise of she never wins on her own.
Yeah.
And people hate it. I love it. That's me.
I love it too.
I love it too. I
hate that wrestling fans don't like heels being heels. Like, stop. Not everything has to be a one-on-one technical 60-minute masterpiece. You tell the stories by introducing other characters. Heels cheat. That's what they do.
So this is why I'm not fully on board with it. And I'm probably about to switch my number 1 and 2 because of what I'm about to say.
Okay, interesting.
With Liv, you have that aspect of a heel. And that's on Raw with the women's title. And then on SmackDown with the WWE women's title, you have Nia, who just dominates people as a heel. You have Chelsea as a heel doing the same thing while using someone that's like, so you're kind of merging what you have with the 2 top titles already.
Even Raquel.
And I want some differential there.
Yeah, that's fair.
And again, I hate to not give Chelsea Green anything.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to give Chelsea Green her first title win based on how they've booked her, I think it has to be through Money in the Bank. Because that fits her to a T.
It does. It does.
You win that, but you can win that by luck. Look at Otis. He just won it luckily. You win that by luck and then use it to her advantage to completely screw someone over. And that's the character that she portrays. So I think that's how I would need her to win a title. Unless they just started having her go crazy like they did in Lucha Underground and let her start winning and beating people up. But it doesn't fit her character. So
she showed that she's capable of it in the Michin match.
Oh yeah, sure.
So
but
I think
she holds her own.
Right. She can hang.
She don't have a signature win in which she beat someone though. She's always kind of just stole one.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a tournament, I don't know how invested I would be in her winning it if she had to steal 1, 2, 3 and doing it the same way we see on this other title. And it's like different. Give me some difference here.
Yeah.
And that's my pushback against the Chelsea. If Chelsea wins though, I'll be the first one jumping off the couch.
Then fine. You know what? I have an
crazy.
Jimmy, I have the easiest solution in the world for you then.
Okay.
Liv Morgan just loses the title. And then we're good.
Shut the heck up. We're moving on from that right now. Number three from Harry. Raquel Rodriguez. They could tease Judgment Day holding all the gold story. I think they already did that, and I don't want them to redo it. This is a new Judgment Day. And they're already showing cracks in it, so I don't even know where they're going with it. So I wouldn't just for that reason.
I think that would be fun though, because then where does that leave Carlito? He's gonna have to try to go after the Intercontinental title.
Where does that leave Dom? He don't have a title either.
Well, no, because Dom's trying to win the world title, right? He was just in the 4-way.
Yeah,
right. So that would leave Carlito to have to
go out. Judgment Day is about to lose some tag titles, man.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying it would be really funny to just see Carlito have to try to go up with Braun Breaker and try to seriously convince himself that he could beat him. That would be
the rest of Judgment Day convincing Carlito that he could beat him, and Carlito's like, "No, I can't."
Exactly. Cool. That's what I'm saying.
That's not cool.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be entertaining television.
Same, brother. Same.
Yes.
Chelsea, she was on sale. I did see that she was on there. I haven't watched anything of it. I did see that Mark Cardona used the clip of it, and it was hilarious.
Always.
My number 3 though, Naomi. This is my veteran that I'm picking because I think Naomi has kind of they've used her to fill in spots that they needed her in, but they've never really given her something all the way through. I feel like they teased the thing with her and Bailey, and then it just kind of fell apart. And like, what happened there? What were we doing with that? Where was that going? They've thrown her in there for a women's title match because it's like, well, it's Naomi. There's always a chance. But it's like, yeah, but not really, because you've never really built her up. And
I mean, she did pin Nia, so they had that whole thing going.
Yeah. And, now Jade and Bianca need a third. So they're like, hey, go do that. And then she goes and does that. And then she did it at WrestleMania. And listen, when she returned at the Royal Rumble, she had one of the top 3 pops of the night. And I don't know if that came through on TV, but at the show there, it was insane. I was like shocked.
Oh, we just had this conversation earlier. I recently rewatched it. It's there, like on TV too. It's 100%.
She had a phenomenal pop. People like her. She and I saw a thing where someone was like questioning what her character is, and it's like she glows. Well, and then someone broke it down. It's like she's just a good person. She does what's right. She always shows up for people, and she glows the positivity. And she's a true babyface.
Right.
Like she is a true babyface. And we were just talking about I don't want
to describe Cody too.
Yeah. I was just talking about how I don't want another heel to win this title since we already have 2 heels. So Naomi makes a great fit there because she is that true babyface who can just go out there, have a good match with anybody, and eventually put someone over.
Spoiler alert here. Just throwing this out there. Naomi's number 1 on my list. All right. So
that's great.
Like, I think that she's perfect for this. There's nobody in the WWE right now that embodies what it would mean to win this championship more than Naomi. She's come back. Yeah. She's had opportunities, but she's put her own opportunities, and her own personal success behind her at times to go and help her friends. And I think this is a great opportunity to have Jade, Bianca, and Naomi walk into WrestleMania, all 3 of them wearing gold. All 3 of them champions. I think it's a great look for them because they can have a little backstage. Yeah. And like, hey, last year we were all here, and you just got here, and you were just out for revenge, and I was the one that you called in to help you, and now here we are, champions. Like I think it'd be just a full circle, great story for Naomi. Like I said, she's number 1 on my list. I think that there's nobody in the WWE right now that deserves this more than Naomi does.
The only person I'd put on that list over her is Zelina, and we already talked about why. Like,
fair enough.
I'm not mad. Yeah. Again, she's the only veteran I have on my list. So, Chelsea Green is champion taking away. It's a license to print money, honestly.
100%.
Carlito bring back a retired belt each week. So
that's actually hysterical.
Let's just branch off real quick. Off the top of your head, if he was going to bring back one belt to try and get over in today's climate, which title would you have him bring back?
Oh, the European title, just because it would just be so much. It would be so funny.
I'm doing hardcore title. I want the hardcore 24/7 rules again.
I'm okay with that.
The 24/7 title was goofy and silly, but it was funny at times. Do it with the hardcore because that stuff was awesome.
Yeah,
dude, it was so good. That's what I think the 24/7 one was missing. It was just pin easy. Do some stupid stuff. Hit someone with a garbage can or forklift or whatever. Make it fun. I think that would be great. And then he just keeps escaping all these brutal beatdowns as the hardcore champion, like Crash Holly. Run Carlito today like Crash Holly back in the day,
down.
baby.
I'm so down.
Money. Okay, so moving on to number 2 here. And I'm going to go first here because I just switched it up. I talked myself out of this when I was talking about Chelsea Green of all things, which, surprise, surprise, my number 2 now is Piper Niven.
Nice.
And again, I think that would be a swerve because everyone's kind of expecting Chelsea, at least the people online are, because of how over it is, how much they love her. And it's like, it makes perfect sense. Put it on Chelsea. Switch it up. Give it to Piper. That way, Chelsea could just be carrying it around and being like, I'm the women's champion, or we're the women's champion, that kind of thing.
Right.
And it makes things interesting between the two, which then, what up, Ronald? Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for being here, bro. But Piper can cut promos to an extent, and then Chelsea can fill in the holes. They're a great duo. And I think this is a good way for you, if you're going to break these two up. Again, I'm always thinking story. How does this work? If you have Chelsea doing the whole ours thing, Piper starts to look at her sideways a little bit, like, what are you talking about? And
Right.
eventually she snaps and the breakup happens and you have a nice little feud there. Like, I know everyone's like, I'm the biggest complainer about this when people complain, like, they just put teams together to break them apart. I'm like, well, yeah. Stop complaining about that. That's a good thing. That's how storylines work. It's a very easy way to do it. Just change it up from time to time.
Unless you and look, I was just saying, unless you're the Dudleys, you don't know who you break up at one point or another. But even the Dudleys broke up. Yeah. The Hardys broke up. Like, even if you're a solid, if you're in a journeyman tag team. I mean, the Motor City Machine Guns have been together for 20 years, but there were a lot of those years where Chris Sabin was the world champion at one point. Yeah. Alex Shelley was just TNA world champion.
And then Sabin was the X Division champion, wasn't he?
Yes,
like they
he
were
was.
Singles champions at the same time.
Right. You know what I mean? So they weren't, like tag teams do other things.
And a counterpoint at all is people want the New Day to break up so bad. And it's like, why? I thought y'all hated it when they did that.
Right.
But now you're wanting them to do it. And it's like, I don't want them to do that. So I don't think Chelsea and Piper is a long-term thing, because I think Piper is a good person for a mid-card title. And I think Chelsea Green is capable of just having magic with anybody she works with.
Right.
I want to see her doing different things with different people. So,
and let's face it, Piper Niven was, thrust into this position being with Chelsea, and it's worked out great. Don't get me wrong.
Chelsea has made it work.
It was a makeshift team because, I mean, Chelsea was supposed to team with Carmella, and then she got pregnant. Then she was supposed to team with Sonya, and then she got hurt. And then it was like, okay, well, what do we do now? Okay, we've got Piper. Great. Okay, she's champion. She subbed in as champion. That's how they got together. She stole one half of the titles and said, this is mine now.
And there you go. She used Chelsea. And then now she used her to get this title. And then boom, you're off to the race. It's boom. Right there. Like, you just go back, which Triple H is very good at right now. It's going back to little tidbits that happened in the past and use them as devices to tell stories now. And there it is.
And it's the perfect opportunity to have, if Carmella does come back, to have her and Chelsea, bam.
That didn't last long enough for sure.
No, not enough.
I think you've been here before, bud. I think I know who you are to an extent. I don't know you, but I think I know. I think I've seen you.
I know who you are, Drew.
Yeah, is he on our Twitter?
Like, come on,
do this on Twitter all the time.
Yes.
Okay. My number 2. Yeah, you're true. I know who you are, bro. What's talking about, man? Come on. My number 2 is Zelina Vega, and my number 1 is Samantha. Oh, Chelsea Green. I was gonna say Samantha Irvin, bro. No, we got rid of her because they ain't gonna do that with her.
I met Samantha Irvin this weekend.
That's right, he did. That's crazy.
I did. So really quick foray into that. Just a very random. I did a movie called The Last Vendetta, which won the best action picture at the film festival that we were at. Which is great, the Urban Action Showcase Film Festival, which was in Times Square in the Regal Theater in Manhattan. So I had to see my movie that I assistant directed, and the back of my head is in a couple of scenes because my character died. My character died in the first movie. I can't really be seen, so I'm just. Yep, it is. No, I got stabbed in the neck with a pencil. Yeah, violent.
That's brutal, bro.
Yeah, really messed up. I mean, I was a bad guy. I deserved it. So anyway, in this movie. I just really mostly assistant directed it, but it won this award, and I was waiting online, waiting to get in, and then all of a sudden, I turned to my right, and I said to my fiance, I said, babe, that's Samantha Irvin and Ricochet. And she was like, oh my God, I think it really is. You're right. She goes, you should go say hi. I was like, I don't want to I don't want to be that guy. Like, there you go. She goes, will you just go and say hello? What's the worst case scenario? Just say hello. I said, okay, I'm going to wait for them to come in. And once they come in, I'll say hi. So I introduced myself. I said hello. Samantha was very, very sweet, very, appreciative that, that we recognized her. Very, very, sweet about the fact that, she was there. I asked for a picture, but Ricochet was like, we got to get upstairs. I said, I totally understand. I was late for my own movie, and I was asked to take a picture with them. They were late for their movie. She was there to go see one of the films that were in the festival, which was really cool. She's a very big fan of Last Dragon, actually, which she actually said on Twitter to me and reposted everything and even liked my tweet when I said that I won the award, which she doesn't follow me. So that means that
that's cool.
It came up on our time, which is great. I mean, just a very cool experience. They were great. I would recommend if you run into them ever. They're great people to meet.
That is cool. And congratulations again. I congratulate you out there, but I congratulate you in person now. Congratulations. That's really cool.
Appreciate it.
My honorable mention is a returning Carmella. Yo, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, give me that.
Money. Mella is money.
I miss Carmella.
I miss Carmella too. She's another one. She's like a Dolph Ziggler, but I think she's a tier above him because she can be a women's champion and run with it. She's fantastic. She is so good.
And think about we're talking about this women's mid-card championship, and we're forgetting that Charlotte's not here right now. Yeah. Becky Lynch isn't here right now. Yeah. Carmella isn't here. Alexa Bliss isn't here. Like there are
soon.
But that's what I'm saying. There's so many other women that can come in to tell stories with this championship. It's great. Not only that, all the women that we have in NXT right now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for them to introduce these championships. I love it. I love the concept.
So, real quick, Piper Niven and Chelsea's way. Yep. Not even close, man. That knee drop Eva Marie thing was doo-doo. Number 2, Albert, who you got?
So my number 2 is who I think is gonna inevitably be the champion, or it's like I said, she's gonna lose to Naomi in the finals, and it's Tiffany Stratton. And I think that the story lends itself perfectly. Tiffy, you don't want my championship. You want to have the Money in the Bank. You want to win this other championship, and then you want to cash it on Liv Morgan to become a double champion. Now Nia gets Tiffany off of her back. Why would you want to cash in on me? You have a championship. We can both run this division. You watch my back, I watch yours. When the time is right, you cash in on Liv. Then we run the whole company. We'll win the and then that's when Nia can go back. Because remember, Tiffany just said on SmackDown a week or two ago, Nia, I got us this match against Bianca and Jade. If we win, we already run the women's division. And Nia was like, I already won the women's division. But with a new championship introduced, that means that distracts Tiffany, makes her go off. It keeps Tiffany away from Nia, and then Nia can then use that as a tool. Tiffany, if you win this belt, then we can win those tag titles. Then you're right, we would run everything. Then you can go to Raw and you can cash in. We'll hold every championship in the company, and it uses it as a device to keep Nia away from being cashed in on by Tiffany. And Tiffany, of course, is going to see gold flash in her face. Why not have it all? And it doesn't make a difference. She doesn't have to not cash in on Nia. Tiffany can absolutely turn her back on Nia and cash in on her whatever she would want. Yeah. So it makes sense in the storytelling device for Tiffany to say, why wouldn't I want to have this opportunity?
I can see it now. The night she loses it is the same night she cashes in on Nia.
Boom! Exactly. Yeah. Perfect.
I definitely, if that's that's definitely the way they would do it for sure.
I just need 1 second.
I never even thought about Tiffany. That's crazy. I want to be Candace. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. After I made my list, I didn't put her on it, and I was like, man, what a great idea it would have been to put Candace in there, because she's trying to get in good with Nia, and Tiffany would be like super jealous of her when Nia now all of a sudden is more friendly with Candace, because Candace has gold, Nia has gold, Tiffany doesn't. And then it creates a real interesting dynamic between the three of them, because Tiffany's like, well, I could just cash in on you, and just little three-way thing that would be interesting. So if I had to pick one, I think Candace would probably be my pick at this point. I think I would want Candace to win too, based on that alone. I like stories though. I think she would, if I was to redo my list, which I didn't and I won't, I would put Candace at number 1. Maybe Nia forces her cash in. Yeah, that's another, man, how crazy would that be if like Naomi or someone won it and then Tiffany just came down there and cashed in on him after she won like a tournament. Maybe even wrestled 2 or 3 times in one night or something. That'd be bonkers. That would be straight bonkers. I'm filling in time right now real quick. So 9-time division champ Chris Sabin.
I'm back.
So, all right. So my number 2. Oh no, I already did my number 2. So now we're moving to number 1, and we already had Albert's number 1.
We already had mine.
We had Naomi, which I was just saying. This right here, maybe Nia forced her to cash in the U title. How evil would that be if Naomi won it after like having to win 2 or 3 matches in one night, and then Tiffany just came in and cashed in on her? That'd be uber heelish.
Oh my god, I love that! I kind of want that now.
That'd be uber heelish. But I feel like they're teasing her to go babyface at the same time, so I don't know. That would be crazy though. That would, oh my goodness, people would hate her so much. Poor Naomi. So my number one then. We'll just move right into my number one. And she was my number 2, and so I switched it up. I talked myself out of it, but now I'm gonna go. We talked a little bit about this. We brought up the NXT women, and then who was your number 5 again?
It was Dakota Kai.
Okay. I don't remember who we talked about earlier that was kind of similar to this. But my number 1 is BFAB, and I think BFAB has kind of just been sitting there, and they ain't really doing nothing with her. But why not give her an opportunity here?
I think we were talking about Zelina.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. But
it was one of those ones that was going to shock people and just kind of be like, hey, this is who she is. Give her this chance and see what she can do. And it's kind of similar to what they did with Kalani Jordan down in NXT.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody saw Kalani Jordan come out of that match winning that title. Nobody. No. It was like, what? Wow. And it put her on the map a little bit. You know, she just did that 5-woman match, and she was in there with all the big hitters, Julia, Stephanie, and Jordan Grace. Like, put her in a really prime time position, and it's elevated her, and it's kind of helped elevate that title a little bit. I think you could do that with BFAB. If you're going to start pushing the Street Profits as a little bit more edgy and giving them, which I think they're doing, I think the whole complaining thing is a work. I think it's a character change, which they desperately need, in my opinion.
Yes.
And absolutely. If you're going to start pushing them and having them be a more integral part of the show, put that title on BFAB so that she's with them, put some more shine on it. And again, kind of just let's see what we can do with it. Let's see what happens. Is she ready? I don't know.
That's my question. Is she ready? And that's my issue with it.
I'll say this. The first time I saw a wrestler, I was not impressed. Not impressed at all.
The match against Elektra Lopez? Because that's the only thing I remember her really doing.
No, I don't think it was that one. It was someone else. Or maybe it was Elektra Lopez. But it doesn't matter who it was. It wasn't good. And I was like, wow, that's not going to work. But then I saw her wrestle not that long ago, maybe a few months ago. And again, it was night and day difference. Like, I was like, okay, I think there's something there. She's been training with Natty a bunch from what I've heard.
Yeah.
We were just giving her flowers earlier. And right here, Courtney just said it. BFAB trains with Natty. Natty. And I think if you want to let people know right out the gate, hey, this title is for the girls who don't get the opportunities. This is a great way of showing that and letting people know, like, hey, this isn't for Rhea Ripley or Charlotte or all the names who constantly have these titles on their waist. This is for the people who don't get those opportunities. And I honestly just kind of want to do this to use it as a way to push the Street Profits at the same time, because I think it's a shame that we don't.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And
my only issue, but here's my thing with this, and I don't disagree with you. We don't actually usually disagree often, but my only problem is this: the idea of the first champion should be someone who we know can elevate this championship to make it mean something. And there's always been a thing in pro wrestling where you shouldn't have the championship make the champion. You should have the champion make the championship. I just don't know if I have enough faith in, from what I've seen from BFAB, which is very little.
Yeah, I agree. Very little.
Makes me believe that there's a reason why, because we saw Maxine Dupree wrestle a lot on Monday Night Raw, and we knew that she wasn't ready.
She never had no training though.
What's that?
I don't think she had nearly enough training. I think they just threw her out there because she looks what we want to put on TV.
I think she got over. Absolutely.
I think BFAB has had plenty of training at this point,
but my thing is that we're not seeing her wrestle. Like, I don't even know if she's having matches on like main event or anything. Like, I just don't remember ever seeing her wrestle. And my question is that because she's good, but they're just trying to find the right spot? or is it because they don't know if she's good enough to be in there weekly as a part of the women's division? I mean, she's really just been with the Street Profits, and that's my only thing. I just don't want it. I think that if that championship, if her first run with that isn't good, people are gonna be like, you remember who they gave that championship to? Remember BFAB? Like that'll be like the footnote in the history of her being in the WWE.
Kiss my booty. That's why I say that. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with it.
Yeah, that's my only thing. Like
it's more of a shock thing.
I love shock, so that'd be great.
And I'll go ahead and make this comparison. You're going to absolutely hate it.
I know that
you're going to not in any way comparing the two talents.
Okay, that's fair.
Not in a way, but similar situations.
Okay,
because who was the first Universal Champion?
Finn Balor.
How long was he on the main roster, and what had he proven to anybody?
Well, I mean, he beat Roman Reigns and somebody else in the same night,
okay, but that was his introduction to the main roster, correct?
Yeah,
and it would I think it would have worked. He just got hurt and sucks.
Yeah,
but now again, is BFAB and Finn Balor on the same wavelength? No,
of course not.
I get say that.
I get where you're going.
I'm saying the same. It's the same premise that you're literally putting it on someone who's a fresh face to start this fresh era with a brand new title. And I've seen enough progress from her first match to the second match I've seen her to where I'm like, okay, I think there's something there. And I'm more kind of going on a hope that she has it. If she doesn't, don't do it, clearly. But it's a shock thing, honestly. I think it would be like, holy crap. And it's a great way to solidify someone new in the division with a new title.
Can I make a concession? I actually like this idea a lot, but instead of there being in a tournament, if this was a battle royal, then you sold me. Because
then the battle royals, they use them too much, and we're too close to the Royal Rumble. They need to knock that shit off.
I'm saying, to me, that would make a lot more sense for a character like BFAB or like a Chelsea Green, where it's almost like, she hung on, she was an Iron Woman, but in a normal match, we wouldn't expect this from her, but it's a battle royal, and she kind of got lucky and she picked her spots, and oh my God, she won. I can see that.
How about in a gauntlet where she beats Naomi, who just wrestled 4 matches, and she was the last person?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
I'll find a way. I'm cooking. They call me HBK.
And that makes a lot more sense to me then. Yes.
Anyone remember how frustrated loser or heel turn? I think it's going to be better than that because that one went nowhere. This one could go somewhere. Disagreeing with me is a cardinal sin, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I agree with that, but that's not for the WWE audience. We have to remember this. There's the audience that did, and then the grander audience in WWE didn't. And let's not act like Gail did come in and win a belt.
It's true, Gail Kim. Yeah, and Paige did. Yeah,
Paige won her first night.
Yes.
See, these things work. Again, I'm putting a lot of hope into BFAB right now. I'm a skeptical kind of guy.
He did it with Santino too. He won the Intercontinental Championship on his first night.
I'm a skeptical kind of guy. That's all. Maybe multi-person ladder match. No, I think they need to die down on ladder matches too. They just kind of overdoing them at points. And I know Triple H loves them because in NXT it was once a month.
Yeah, you're right, kidding.
With Jimmy to talk about wrestling multiple times a night. He wants to.
You've also mentioned Ziggler a bunch of times.
I don't think I've ever mentioned Dolph Ziggler this much in my life than I have tonight. So
hey, the wanted man Nick Nemeth is wrestling Brian Myers on Impact tonight. It should actually be a really big banger tonight. So
tune into that. And we're doing the podcast early enough to where you can watch us and TNA. So bada bing, bada boom. I'm helping y'all out all the time.
You're welcome. And now we're plugging them. See?
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Come on.
Boom. Give us a sponsorship, TNA, please. That's it. We went through this and we have 10 minutes to spare. Woo! Getting good at this stuff.
Right? Look at us.
So with that said, the next 2 weeks we have planned out. Look at that. We're also doing good on that aspect as well. Next week, we will be back same time, same night, all that good stuff, in which we'll be doing the Thanksgiving special. And we're going to be just talking about the things in wrestling that we're thankful for. And it doesn't have to be now. It could be things from all the way back when we were little kids watching it. I know Macho Man right here will probably be thankful for some Macho Man stuff. We both love Macho. And then the following week is Thanksgiving. So we will not be doing a show on Thanksgiving. We'll be doing a show the day before Thanksgiving because that's the week of Survivor Series. And I'm not skipping that, baby, because it gives us an opportunity to talk about Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. So that's what's happening there.
We got a number 5 coming on each team. This is going to be fun.
Next week, it'll be Thursday, same time, same channel, same place, all that good stuff. And then the next week, it'll be same time, same channel, different day, just the day before. So hopefully y'all put that in little calendars. Maybe just hit the little bell at the top of Wrestle Buddy's channel so you know what we're doing, and we will see you there. So before we go and we say our goodbyes, Albert, is there anything you would like to say or plug?
Yeah, real quick, I'm just going to throw out to True Sinister over here. Agreed, 100%. Just agreed 100%. I still do. Not the same level of interest, though, unfortunately. Real quick, I'm here. And for the foreseeable future, this is probably the only place I'll be. You can go watch old episodes on the Slam Sessions, but I don't foresee myself doing anything for the remainder of this year. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from a lot of things because I've worked nonstop, almost like I had 2 full-time jobs with the plays and stuff that I was doing. So I'm taking a little bit of a break. I got, and maybe in January I'll finish off some. True, if Dave ever hits me up to actually do something with him, because we talk all the time. And I'm always like, dude, hit me up. Let me jump on a live stream with you. He's like, yeah, definitely. And then we never do. So if we head it down, yes. But I am taking a little bit of a break. So this is pretty much all where you'll find me. But if you want to go watch old episodes of the Slam Sessions, that's cool.
I highly suggest it. If you like toys like I do, he's got a lot of them to go check out. Myself, I said I'd be recording a quiz last week, but it didn't happen. Things happened, got canceled. So this week we will be doing that for Wrestle Buddy, a quiz, which I will be part of and which I will win because I literally win everything that I do on these things. So if you want to watch me gloat and win some more gold for the Drip King, go ahead and keep your eye out for that. Again, hit the little bell on the top of the Wrestle Buddy YouTube page and you'll see it. And I think next Tuesday I might be doing 2 Survivor Series shows next week. That's not next week. That's 2 weeks from now. So don't scratch what I just said. That, and then Sunday I'll probably be doing Wrestling with Your Thoughts in Our Opinion with our good buddies Nick. And if anything else, just follow me on the apps. Y'all know what to do. I'll keep you updated with those. I plug all day on those. So have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Just enjoy wrestling. And wait, what is this? My Trick Williams came this week. Hey, I want to show off my new favorite. One of my new ones.
Ooh.
Wrong side. He's with my Judgment Day and Jimmy crew. Oh, I finally got my hands on the Eddie Ultimate.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
I love it. I found this and I jumped for joy in the store. I was so happy. And he goes
it's
right up there.
It's a beautiful figure. It really is. That's that. And I love how you have the chance, like how he used to have the title slung over his shoulder. That's exactly how Eddie used to wear it.
WCW nerd through and through, which you will also see a lot of that when we kickstart the Friday Nitro reviews, which we'll go back and watch all the Nitros.
Guys, I'm so excited for them to do this.
Yes, it's going to be a blast because I'm going to see parts of Nitro that I never watched. So I'm really excited to see that. But that's what happens when you talk figures. Harry, man, you're going to make me talk about my figures. But that's that. Thank you guys for watching. And we will see you next week at the same time, same channel, same night, all that good stuff. I love WCW. Yeah, you're my kind of people then because WCW was the shiznittle bim bam boom. But thank you all and toodles.